Welcome to my talk. One Amazon. Take advantage of every opportunity on Amazon. That's super boring. I got into working out this presentation and I was like, this is the most boring title I've ever heard in my life. So instead, you guys walked into a different talk. Your talk is now Taming the Bezos, or Gotta Catch 'Em All. And I apologize up front. As I was out there researching this presentation, I came across a picture of Jeff Bezos that really sparked my imagination and started to have a lot of fun. Also, my kids are really into Pokemon right now, and so you guys get Pokemon. So, who are you? I must know. Inigo Montoya. Let me talk to you a little bit about myself. There's a little bit of delay on the clicker here. So, I'm kind of goofy. Actually, Jeff Bezos has said this about himself more than one time. I'll attribute it to myself too. So as you heard, I actually don't need to go through this because you guys already heard this and I've got a lot to cover today. I also slipped down a hill one time, and that was actually on the news. So, well, before I get into the presentation, I just have to point something out. I'm pretty sure that Mark Lavelle time traveled. I found this picture out on the internet, and I think that Mark came back from the future and told his past self, like, hey, that 1.1 billion you're going to get from Magento, you should make it 1.7. Or maybe that's just John Goodman. I can't really tell the difference. I don't know what's going on there. At this point, I think you're probably like, hey, Karen, this guy's crazy. Like, why did we even go into this talk? Like, we should probably leave. But before you leave, let me talk a little bit about why I'm giving this talk. And now I feel like this thing's on like auto moving my slides. But so I'm giving this talk because in 2017, Amazon was estimated to own 44% of all US online retail transactions. They own about 4% of all US retail. If you didn't know that, this is big. This is big. In fact, it's about to get bigger. So e-commerce represents, oh, and you like these pictures of Jeff Bezos that I found? Pretty awesome, right? Like, also, I actually added one that's an imposter. I'm going to see if you guys can find it out, kind of like the whole Mark John Goodman thing. Let's see if you guys can figure out where the fake Jeff is as we go. So e-commerce grew by 16% from 2016 to 2017. This accounted for nearly 50% of retail growth. Pretty large chunk of growth coming out of e-commerce. Also, initial forecasts for 2018 growth in retail were initially 3.8 to 4.4%. Now, NRF has updated their forecast to be 4.5% of growth by the end of the year. So we're talking about a rapidly growing retail industry and e-commerce, which is also driving a lot of that growth. So Amazon is expected to own 50% of e-commerce by the end of the year. So not only are we in a rapidly growing industry, and e-commerce is driving a lot of that growth, Amazon is continuing to grow as well. So Jeff's pretty excited about that, I would say. And there we go. So yeah, Amazon is taking more market share of a bigger pie. And if I could go backwards, the discrepancy between where Jeff was and where Jeff is now, pretty significant, even in his physical appearance. I mean, you might even think there's a bit of an imposter thing going on here. Well, maybe that's the imposter. Actually, you may have heard the rumor that at some point down the road, Amazon's actually going to hit a year where they do more revenue in 1 year than they did the rest of the years combined. This is a rumor. I'm not saying it's true. I don't even think I believe this. It might be a bit of an imposter. But the point is, these kinds of rumors are flying around because Amazon is going crazy, and you should be paying attention to it. So if you read the description of my talk before you came, you probably heard that on Amazon.com, about half of the products that are being sold are from third-party sellers. So if Amazon is 44% of online transactions, and third parties are 50% of that, we're talking about 22% of transactions on the web are from third-party sellers on Amazon. And if we extrapolate the growth of Amazon, we're talking about 25% of transactions online are coming from third parties on Amazon. So nearly 1/4 of your potential market online is through Amazon. This is really big, and that's why I'm giving this talk. So you might say, okay, I agree, Amazon's a big deal. And you probably already thought that before you came in here. But look at his face. Now what do you do about it? So it's time to tame the Bezos. And so what that means is that there's more to Amazon than just Jeff Bezos. He's pretty big, right? There's a lot going on here. Jeff's actually just the start. So what we need to do now is play Pokemon and go find all the different things that are available to you to do on Amazon. And so 3, 2, 1, Amazon go. I had to work. Actually, Magento has their own version of this as well, or had their own version. They kind of discontinued it. Let's see if I can get it to come up. They did. They had Magento go. And again, I think you might be whispering to your neighbor at this point, this is the same joke he made last year. I made the same joke last year, but it fit here, so I'm using it again. So next thing you need to do your research. What's available to you? You need to build your PokeCard deck, right? So what's out there? I'm going to help you do a little bit up front. I don't know if you remember Pokemon from when you were a kid, or maybe you still play Pokemon. You probably still play Pokemon. But the Game Boy version, you had to go discover new Pokemon and figure things out, and got to the point where you researched ahead. Well, you need to research ahead. So let's do that for a minute. So PokeCard 1. And by the way, my son Peter did all of the illustrations for the different things that you can do on Amazon as Pokemon. So this is a money bag as a Pokemon, and you'll get to see some other cool illustrations from him along the way. So there's sell on Amazon. Most obvious thing, you probably know you could sell on Amazon. There's different ways you can do that. One is to do traditional retailer model where you sell to them. The more common way that you're going to probably, and the way you're probably going to go do it is sell on Amazon. And that's listing products in the Amazon marketplace. And so, you're going to list alongside other vendors. Maybe you have the same products as them, maybe not. It depends on how things go, what you're selling. There's different account types. You're probably going to be professional. That's $40 a month. It starts to make sense as soon as you start selling 40 items a month, because the individual is 99 cents a month plus fees. Those fees are variable. Make sure you do some negotiation up front if you have any leverage. And then you're going to have to figure out how to fulfill those orders that you sell on Amazon. And so there's some different options for fulfillment on Amazon. One of those is FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon. I can't go backslide, but the other one is Vendor Fulfilled Prime, Fulfillment by Merchant. And there's an option under that called Seller Fulfilled Prime, where you actually can become a Prime certified warehouse and sell your products as Prime products on Amazon.com, but use your own infrastructure. You have to apply to this program and meet certain requirements. It's a great way to go to market on Amazon. So Fulfillment by Amazon. So this is a huge part of what Amazon does. Obviously, their network of distribution is just amazing, unprecedented, unparalleled. So you can store your products with Amazon. There's variable storage and fulfillment fees, and you pay for what you use. Your products are eligible for Prime if you're on FBA. Amazon handles all the shipping and fulfillment and customer service and returns. Another thing you might not know about is something called FBA Onsite, where Amazon will actually fulfill from your warehouse. So instead of storing all the products at Amazon, you can store them in your warehouse. They'll come and pick them up and take them away and get them out. And you're eligible for Prime and Subscribe and Save if you use this option as well. The great thing about FBA and Amazon, they've built out some really great tools for managing your inventory. And so you've got an inventory dashboard, and you've got an inventory performance index. You can see how you're actually doing when it comes to managing your inventory. Super helpful. I really like that truck Pokemon too. That was a good one. So another thing that you can do is something called Amazon Exclusives. Create special offers by product or variation, so not your entire product line, to be sold on Amazon, your sites, and your stores. This is super powerful. You must use FBA to do it, however, and there is an additional 5% fee applied to your whole account. So you do need to make sure you're taking advantage of it if you do use it, because it does cost more. But it does give you priority access to deals, giveaways, email campaigns, on-site marketing, new tools, and and Amazon will actually help drive traffic to your site. So this is a really powerful tool to grow your business on Amazon and get featured. Amazon's huge. Product discovery is hard. So finding a way to gain an edge and get out in front of customers and help them do discovery on your site, really, really important. It's a great tool. Amazon advertising, you might have started to hear about this a little bit. One thing you should absolutely know is from 2015 to 2018, Amazon surpassed Google for product searches, with Amazon growing from 46% to 54%, and Google declining. Let me ask you, how much are you spending on your Google spend right now for advertising? You may want to consider the fact that you're probably not spending much on Amazon, or you haven't spent much on Amazon yet, or it's not in your plans. You probably need to add it to your plans, because this is where people are looking for products. And it's still early. Amazon's only making $3.37 billion on this advertising business. It's expected to grow by 5 times nearly by 2021, which means that it's still early enough where, you remember the early days of Google advertising? That's now on Amazon. Get out there and spend your money on Amazon. Figure out what what blend of spend you want to make between Amazon and Google. But this is going to be a much easier way to get people to your products and make sales. There's different ways you can do those ads: sponsored products, sponsored brands, and then you get these free store things. So basically, you set up sort of a pseudo storefront in Amazon. Sponsored products are where you can, sponsor a product and have it return on an earlier search result. Sponsored brands used to be called headline search ads, and now it's called sponsored brands. But you can essentially highlight your brand along with some of your products on search results and other places on the site. Really powerful way to grow your brand. Brand registry. This is another really important thing that if you have not done this, even if you're not selling on Amazon, you need to go do this. It is free. Enroll now. You will protect your brand on Amazon. It gives you more control over your product listings. It gives you search tools to make sure that there's no infringement happening, and you can really go do some management of your brand there. And also, Amazon has some software that will do proactive management of your brand for infringement protection. This is a no-brainer. If you're not doing this, do it. There are some minimum requirements here, but they're really minimal. If you have a brand, you should be using this. This has all been in the context of retail. What about B2B? Well, Amazon actually has a B2B business. It has access to 150,000 businesses, and half of the purchases that are done on Amazon Business are 3P. So yeah, the opportunity is wide open here as well. Huge business, and it's a growing business, and this is expected to be one of Amazon's hottest categories going forward. There are some eligibility qualifications, but it's just normal selling fees. So it's not, it's not intimidating, and honestly, if you're doing anything on the B2B side, it's worth doing this. Additional tools and perks are included. You can do tiered pricing, quantity discounts, business-specific offers. People can actually sort by certifications, like minority-owned business or quality certifications that you have. This is, again, another really powerful tool. If you are addressing businesses, you should be using this. This is a good way to get out in front of people and make more sales. There are also other opportunities. I'm just going to highlight a couple more here. Amazon Handmade, for those of you that are just coming into this retail thing and you're building stuff by hand, and maybe you've got a team doing stuff by hand. This is another great way to get out in front of people and really get your business going. Also, Amazon Custom, which is for any size business. This is if you didn't know that you can customize products on Amazon, you should go check this out. There's actually a bunch of different ways that you can do customization flows that you can direct your user down and see updates in real time. This is previously thought of as a differentiator for on-site sales on your own site. You can set up these flows. You can do this on Amazon too. And I'm guessing a lot of you didn't even know about that. We've been talking about all on Amazon.com solutions. What about stuff that's off Amazon.com? Amazon also offers some opportunities here. So Amazon Web Services is something you should all know about. AWS. In fact, Mojo is offering Magento hosting on AWS. Magento Cloud is built on AWS. These are things that you should definitely know. Multi-channel fulfillment is one you probably don't know about. You can actually have Amazon do fulfillment for sales on your site. So you can send all of your stuff to them, then people can come on your site, make purchases, and then Amazon will fulfill them for you. And then Amazon Pay is another way where people can go check out on your site using the saved credit card information on on their Amazon.com account. So Amazon offers you so many tools. There's a lot going on here. You, however, might say, well, actually, that's all well and good, Brian, but Bezos is invincible, and this stuff is scary, and he's just going to win. But to that, let me point out a couple things. So here's one. I'm going to address a few concerns. Amazon's going to use my data against me and release a private label or give that data to my competitor or something along those lines. To that, I say, Amazon already has all the data they need, and if they don't, they will soon. And let me explain why I say that. Because one, Amazon's got the largest assortment of products online, one. Two, if there's a category that you're in where your products are not being sold there, everyone in the world is going to see that as an opportunity to go get out in front of you. Your competitors are going to see it as an opportunity. So unless you trust all of your competitors not to sell on Amazon, guess what? They're going to get out in front of you and beat you to the punch and go get all those 300 million plus Amazon account holders business before you do. So you need to get out there and sell on Amazon. That's not an excuse. Data is not an excuse. Here's another one. Amazon's too expensive for me to sell on. Yeah, Amazon's got some fees. Guess what? It costs money to sell your products even on your own site and anywhere else. The cost of selling goods online, there's a cost there no matter where you go. And so like your on-site sales, how do you acquire customers right now? Almost all of you merchants out there are actually offering a discount when people come onto your site to make a purchase. And guess what? How do you keep them there? Immediately after they make a purchase, you're offering them another discount. And so the discounting process of on-site sales and the investment that you've put into building out your site is actually probably more than it's going to cost you to sell on Amazon. So there's a cost to doing business everywhere. It's about finding your markets and addressing them. And again, 25% of sales online are on from third-party sellers on Amazon. So you can't use that as an excuse. Here's another one. I've heard merchant support for SOA is really slow. What happens if I have a problem with my account? And to that I say, this is a super important question. And I'll get to this in a second. So you say, okay, you've addressed all my concerns, Brian. I'm in now, especially that last one. I really addressed that one. So what do I do now? Well, what do you need to do now? You need to build your own deck. You need to pick out the cards. I don't know if you've ever played Pokemon cards before, but you actually build out your own deck, and then you have a strategy for how you play those cards, right? So you need to do that with these things that Amazon has to offer you. So first of all, you probably need outside help. You probably have some skills to address some of this, but it's super likely because of the breadth of what Amazon has to offer, you likely need someone to come in there and give you a lift, and someone with expertise. So if you feel like this is overwhelming, start looking around. There's some good consultants out there. Second thing, make sure you take into account all of their offering. There's a lot going on here. Different things play off of each other, and you should sometimes be selling stuff directly to Amazon as a 1P, and sometimes you should be selling stuff as 3P. There's a lot to consider. The other thing is you should absolutely have a strategy for other marketplaces. Marketplace selling is one of the biggest ways that you can actually go to market right now, and there are a bunch of marketplaces that are up and coming. Walmart, Jet, Alibaba, and a bunch of others. And so if you have a strategy just for Amazon, but you don't have a strategy for other marketplaces, you're missing out on an opportunity that we're still on the front side of that opportunity. These marketplaces are still growing. There's so much going on right now, and this is one of the best ways to get your products out in front of users or customers. And then finally, be smart about the tools you use to go do this. And again, I think having outside help to consult around this will be really useful. But Magento now has a native multi-channel feature. Amazon's the first one available through it. And so just be thoughtful and analyze the tools and figure out which ones work best for your business. So last thing, and now I'm going to address that one concern that I talked about earlier. What percentage of your business should you be doing on Amazon? This is the big question. What happens if there's an issue with your account? You need to make sure you know what level of support you're going to get from Amazon, and you need to make sure that Amazon knows what level of support you're going to get from Amazon. So if you're self-service and you have a large portion of your business on Amazon, understand what recourse you have if there is, and hopefully there's not, but if there is an issue with your account. And so talk to Amazon, find out where you sit, in their support organization and understand how much risk you want to take on. Determine your tolerance for risk in terms of Amazon support and how much sales you have flowing through Amazon. Because if something happens, an algorithm changes, or for some reason there's a mistake and your business gets suspended, you need to know what recourse you have. And then, I've already said this, but make sure you've got strategies and targets for each of your chosen channels. So know how much you want to do on each channel and go after that. Maybe you don't want to just grow indiscriminately and take on all the sales that you can through any given channel. You should have targets and understand where you want the majority of your business come and what other channels you want to come in. That's all the time that I have. So build your deck, catch them all, tame the Bezos. Jeff Sin, are you? Any questions?